Man, first time I met Derrick Wilson, aka Smooth, it's crazy. I remember coming up to me. Hey, boy, where you from, man? Where you from? And I'm from Shreveport, man. I'm from Shreveport. Oh, yeah, cool, man. Where you with? You went to Southwood? Went to Southwood? I'm like, yeah, man, I went to Southwood, man. And it was, ever since then, man, there's always excitement with him. He always just brought that demeanor, he really had a true sign of brotherhood, man, and everything. When he spoke to you, when he came up to you, you felt a lot of love and a passion of the fraternity that he had in his heart. And, you know, it really hurts to hurt a lot to have this loss. But for the most part, man, you know, I know he's in a better place. And I appreciate the things that I did receive from him while he was here on this earth. Rest in peace.
Smooth. Smooth, one of those guys, you always remember the first time you meet him. It's crazy because I always heard about him. People always afraid. I always made jokes talk about I look like him. Then when I met him, I'm like, man, no way I can look like this dude right here. But it was crazy, man. It's crazy that he's gone. I was just sitting around just thinking about the times we had. He was one of those guys, when he come into town, I always knew I had an argument because he was somebody I just loved to argue with. I always remember him saying, man, I paid $50,000 out the showroom floor for my Charger. How much you pay for your Benz? But, Reno, tell him. You know, Reno was his boy, but man, he the one put the K side in my heart because you can tell how much it meant to him, how much brotherhood meant to this guy. You know, when he came, you know, everybody, you didn't come through the pie without knowing him. He wanted to meet every brother. He knew every brother. You know, as a brother or as an initiate, you know, you always wanted to hear them words from him. Them words were, them boys good. And when he said those words, you feel honored, you know, that he said those words to you, said that, oh, they good with the pie, they're certified. And man, we always said the greetings to my big brother. I mean, we always said the greetings, big brother, close call. But it's kind of crazy now that, you know, we not greeting him, we kind of saying salutations to him. He's gone. I know he's in a better place. It's just crazy. I never hear that voice again. We'll never hear that voice again. You know, the brothers that's coming into the chapter will never see him. But, you know, everybody knows him. I was at work. Everybody knows Smooth. I just want to, you know, give my last words, you know, to his family, to his son, to the loved ones. He touched the whole pie, and he will be missed.
Smooth, what's going on, Noob? I know you're up there in the chapter Invisible saying, yo, looking down here on all of us, man. Little we know that when you was down here Friday, that you was making your final rounds and telling all the brothers, yo, but we just want to let you know, man, that your legacy will never be forgotten. We love you. You're always in our hearts and our minds. And say hello to the founders for us up there. And we'll see you real soon. Yo, baby, yo.
What's up, Smooth? It's your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe I'm sitting right here giving you a tribute. You know, can't have lightning without thunder. That's what you always used to say, man. But I just want to give a shout out to you. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. And just appreciate you being you. Always the excitement of the party. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I needed somebody to talk to, we always talk. You know. I know you're in heaven right now looking down on me, man. You know, I just hate to see you gone so early. But I know you're in a good place. Man, don't worry about your little boy, I got him. I know that the Cam, I got him. He won't miss a birthday or Christmas. Man, I ain't gonna forget what you told me, Smooth, man. We gotta keep it going. And you know, man, I'm gonna salute you. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you was a living legend, man. And I was glad to be a part of your life. You know, I was glad to be your best friend. I see you in heaven, baby. Peace.
August 2004 was the first time I ever met Smooth. I was just moving to Monroe, and I met him through my older brother, who was already a part of the bond. Smooth took me under his wing as if I was his own brother. He took care of me when I didn't have a car on campus. He took me to the store, took me out, made sure I had a good time. And he always would call in and report to my brother on the things that I was doing, making sure that everything was okay. From that time until I joined the bond, Smooth treated me as if he'd known me all his life. And I couldn't understand the brotherhood that Kappa showed and what made him treat me as if I was a brother, but it was just the power of the bond. And if you known Smooth as a noob, it was nothing that you couldn't call him for. Anything that you needed, he was there for you. No matter how far you were away or how far he was away from you, he would find a way to get there to you and make sure everything was okay. He made sure that my journey to be a Kappa man was a success. He taught me step by step, and he raised men in Kappa with those same teachings. As a person, Smooth was most confident, most swagger. I mean, he could dress. He walked around with his head held high all the time with a smile. It was no person that couldn't get along with him. Whether you were Kappa, Q, Alpha, anything, any sorority or fraternity, everybody knew Smooth and they respected Smooth and they knew who Smooth was. He was a comedian. He made you laugh. He joked. It was hardly anything negative that you could see about Smooth. Smooth was a brother that I mean, it's sad to see. I mean, God, like I said, man, he's always there. He's brother. And I mean, he was always there to listen. He was always there to lend advice. And anything that happened within the chapter, Smooth wanted to be a part of. He was a strong man. I can remember when his son was being born. Man, it was like the happiest moment of his life. And it was so funny. He would always say, "Man, my son gonna always be fresh. Gonna be fresh like his dad." And if anybody knows Smooth, when you seen him in the spot, he was fresh. He just couldn't be outdone. Everyone in the chapter of Eta Pi knew Smooth. They knew what kind of guy he was. Whether he thought something was wrong or if he thought it was right, he was going to stick by it. He was a man of his word. Even if everybody else thought it was wrong, Smooth was still going to be Smooth and did what he felt. That was just him. He had this such an aura about him that most people confused with arrogance, but he was just that type of person that was so confident in his ways and his looks and his intelligence that he walked so upright that you just had to, it just brought attention to him. I think the funniest quote I remember Smooth saying once I became a Kappa, he said, "Eric, you think you pretty, you walk like you pretty, you dress like you pretty, everybody else gonna think you pretty. and I thought about that. It was like, I'm telling you, no matter what, if you think you pretty, and you talk like you pretty, walk like you pretty, dress like you pretty, everybody else gonna think you pretty. And I mean, Smooth must have lived by that because that's what he thought he was. And ultimately, that's what he was. He was a pretty person. His swagger about him, everything about him represented Smooth, and it definitely represented a true Kappa, man. We always gonna miss you, man. Your name's legendary in the Pi. No one would ever forget about you, man. And your name will always live on through us. Rest in peace, Smooth.